Jacksonville Jaguars. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw on 2nd down is Locke. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Locke. Muscling free near the 40. And he's got Rodgers. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 50, it's Locke. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Myles Jack not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. Luck and the Colts looking for something big here after the sack. This is 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Love. Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that. To me, pregame, that's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Gone! 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 Gone!
Extra time to talk about this third.
To see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. When you're on your own 1-yard line like they were, oftentimes you're thinking just run on any down, get some space. There they elect to throw it. It cost them.
You get the sense that they were banking on the element of surprise, right? Everyone expects you to run it there. Let's take a shot. Let's throw it. Try and create some space, some room. And it went awry, didn't it?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Here's Matt. Muscles involved. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And connecting here with DJ Shark. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Kill, kill, kill!
Here's Mack on the toss. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a carry from Mack. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. The Colts on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Dante Fowler in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, some strong running. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
Santos with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he spins through. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Luck on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll check this one off to Fournette. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And the Colts coming out now. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the 2nd sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dante Fowler in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case,
now a hit and lost the football. It's out. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were. And so possession will remain with Indy. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Brissett, the backup, his first throw. And he's going to go down again. Dante Fowler bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Returnable here from the 38. Now a hit and a loose football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Caught, Seferian-Jenkins, right side. Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Detroit!
On play action, they'll throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, there.
They're going to look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be fourth down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Brissett now on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Doyle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now they come up and spike it to stop the clock. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with the coach and our EA Sports halftime report. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. John Simon coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be third and a mile.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Back to throw here. Completes it to Lee. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
First down, Brissett. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. Brad 38.
Brissett to throw on first. Looking deep for Hilton. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They go play action with Brissett. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
White 90.
From the red zone now, Brissett. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll throw again. Brissett into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Fournette. Fighting through it, he's got space. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun.
Back to throw. That one complete. He finds Sharp. Slips past him.
Where'd he go?
Wow, incredible.
Miss.
And they finally take him down, but not before he reaches the 43. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Open man right side is Sharp. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A design run for their wideout. And he coughed it up. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian Jenkins. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now back to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up fourth.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, here's Brissett. And he's got his man Hilton. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Brissett now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Brissett sets to throw it. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hey, let's go! White 90! White 90!
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14. The gun, Brissett. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the ball is knocked out. And did the Jaguars come up? With it, they did. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Fournette, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That was a terrific job by the defense stopping them on 3rd and short. But sometimes you get some visual cues from the offense because when they're going in short yard situations, you might see the offensive line come in tighter together, a little more shoulder to shoulder, trying to wedge a hole in the middle. They didn't get it done on that play.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Staying on the ground with Mack. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they face a 3rd and 15 here following the delay of game.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, it's Bissett. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. On 3rd down, Fournette. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A 2nd down throw for Brissett. Runs through the contact, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Brissett. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
The Colts on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Into the air once more. It's Brissett. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Jags, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week, where they take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Done. I've been finessing since the 8th grade, but now I'm getting paid just to show face. If you want me, tell that gay. Most my